Bank account applications rejected. Credit card applications declined. Why is that happening to Canadians? As a US tax accountant and a CPA based in Toronto, I'm helping my clients open bank accounts, open corporate structures, help them with taxation in the US, and do everything to make sure that they're taking their business or their personal life to the next level in the United States. Today, we're going to talk about the top reasons why US bank accounts are getting rejected. Hi, I'm Sal, a CPA here in Toronto, and I'm helping people with US tax issues or anything to do with US taxation or US businesses. The first reason that I think that US bank accounts are getting rejected is because applications are not strong enough. People are not putting in the enough amount of information about their business. Speaking to business owners, they only put the minimum amount of information in their bank account applications, and that's not going to make the cut. I always say this to my clients that with the IRS, you want to give as little information as possible, but with the bank, you want to give as much information as possible to support your case. If there's any field to upload any business plan, definitely do that, because you're telling the bank that we are a serious business. Say that we've got $1 million of revenue in Canada and we want to expand that into the US. That's going to stand out so much more than a bank application with hardly any documents. The problem is that there's so many people who are probably across the other end of the globe that have opened US LLCs, opened US bank accounts, and are just doing fictitious activity, or they're doing some scam or some drop shipping, and the banks are starting to reject those applications or close bank accounts that are already open. So you want to stand out from them. You want to tell them that we are serious about this and we're going to bring you business as we're a genuine business in Canada or a genuine individual in Canada with a substantial income, and I want to open a US bank account. How can I say this with so much confidence? Because I have multiple US bank accounts. I've got a Mercury account, I've got Wise, I've got Chase, I've got TD Bank, I've got CIBC US, and so do I in Canada and in England, UK. I know how banking system works around the world, and they just want the confidence that you're not going to get them into trouble. TD Bank was fined like more than $1 billion, the largest fine in US banking history, probably the largest fine in global banking history, for having foreign bank account holders who did not have the right information or documentation. So they're very, very scared of that. Number two reason is people not choosing the right bank. If you're a Canadian, let's say you're in Toronto, you can just drive to Buffalo and open a bank account with a high street bank over there. For example, Chase Bank is very, very popular for foreigners. Using that as compared to like Mercury or an online bank, which again, people from other end of the world can also open from the comfort of their home, it's going to support your case so much more, where when you're going into the bank and you're physically sitting there in front of them and answering any questions that they have, giving documents, and they're able to see you face to face. So as a Canadian, I definitely suggest, if you're able to drive to the United States, let's say you're in Vancouver or you're in Toronto and the border is next to you, or even in Montreal, the border is next to you, why not just go drive over to the bank? Obviously, take an appointment beforehand and open a bank account physically. Chase is very good. I highly recommend that. Third reason why bank account applications for Canadians are getting rejected is because they don't have a good address in the US. A lot of people are using Wyoming or some other virtual address that their registered agent gave them. The problem is, again, like I said, 1,000 or a few thousand other people have already opened bank accounts in that exact same location using that exact same address. And half of them could probably be doing some sort of scamming or some sort of drop shipping or some business that doesn't sort of give the bank the right kind of vibe. The way you segregate yourself, or the way you stand out from them is, for example, if you've got relatives or friends or family in the US, you want to use that address, because that address has not been used by too many other people. And if you can't do that, you can still get a virtual address from Google, but you just want to make sure that it's not being used by too many people. The way you can do that is, let's say you just search on Google for virtual address US. Don't select the first option that comes up. Go to the third, fourth, fifth page of Google, where most people are not going. Go there, find a website, and get a virtual address from there. Obviously, if you choose a virtual address that's at a city that's big, for example, New York, Chicago, something that's known for having businesses there already, that's going to support your case so much more, as opposed to having it in Sheridan, Wyoming, where you've got like 5 buildings, right? So having a good address will definitely support your application. Good address meaning an address that's not used as often. And that's it. So in summary, 3 things you should definitely look out for is having a good bank to go to, a good address to use, and a strong application. Those 3 things will infinitely increase your chances of having a bank account successfully open, your business being able to successfully set up, take payments, take on clients, being able to receive money, bring that into Canada, and take your business to the next level. If you found this video helpful and you think that you want to see more of these, if you just hit the subscribe button, it's going to keep on showing up in your feed and you're going to get more tips that's going to save you from rejection of bank accounts, that's going to save you from double taxation and any complications that happened if you are a Canadian who wants to do anything with the US. You want to move to the US, you want to start your business in the US, anything to do with that, it's definitely going to be there when you subscribe. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.